Kim Il-young sat in the stadium, letting out he looked like he was trying to catch his breath after something intense. He thought to himself that he must have been out of his mind, jumping into danger like that. What on earth was he thinking? It was all because of this so-called hero's aura or something, he thought. Heroes? Yeah, right. The young man wondered if being a hero was just a job where you help others with nothing to gain. The mother of heroes seemed to be telling him not to ignore his inner heroic instincts. It was a bit much for him to take in. Instincts? Please don't make a fuss at a time like this, Kim Il-young thought. Heroic instincts in someone with a rough background? Even a passing dog would laugh. The mother of heroes was still messing with him, claiming that martial arts would answer his call. She just stood there in the bubble, making fun of him. Kim Il-young was getting seriously annoyed. He yelled, wondering why he had even bothered doing that in the first place. It was all because of this stupid hero mindset, he thought. The mother of heroes kept smirking and even started imitating him. Because of that, he cursed that damn god under his breath. Hildegren was laughing while looking at his flustered face. It felt like his list of embarrassing moments just kept growing, which made him feel even worse. Kim Il-young looked over, surprised. He wondered who this prospective adventurer was supposed to be. Kim Mi-young introduced herself as the director of the Adventurers Association. She said it was nice to meet the adventurer everyone was talking about. Kim Il-young looked at her, realizing she was a high-ranking person from the association. He seemed a bit surprised by her sudden appearance. The camera panned to show the empty auditorium. It was silent and still, waiting for something to happen. Kim Mi-young asked if Kim Il-young would consider working for the country, but he immediately turned her down, saying he was good. Recently, things had gotten hectic for Kim Il-young. He thought that all this stuff about becoming a hero and working for the country was getting really annoying. The young man looked stressed. Kim Il-young was thinking that he should visit a powerful shaman at least once. He looked serious, like he was weighing a very important decision. The director, Kim Mi-young, chuckled, asking him to take a look around. She pointed out that there was hardly any room left to squeeze him into their organization. Then she asked if he was joining a guild after all, but immediately changed her mind. Kim Mi-young was surprised. She said he turned out to be more determined than she thought. She was referring to those who had ignored him, treating him like a loser. Kim Il-young apologized, saying he would pass. He explained that his pride wouldn't let him bow down to those who looked down on him. The guy smiled, saying he'd rather hunt in the wild. He added that it had been a while since he'd seen a real man. He told him that he deserved a reward for that, and asked if there was anything he wanted. He then wondered what was up with Kim Il-young. Kim Il-young was wondering why he was suddenly getting so much attention. He thought to himself, was it because he stopped the Dark Orc massacre? He looked confused. He continued thinking, was it because he said he didn't need a clan? The young man reminded himself that there was no pride when free stuff was involved. Kim Il-young realized it was one of those habits from his penniless days. He then asked if he could take something. The man in the suit said that he would cover the equipment costs personally. He added that this wasn't against the Kim Hyung-ran Act, right? He reassured him not to worry, it wasn't. The lady said to just accept it as a gift to maintain a good relationship with the association. Kim Il-young was surprised and thanked her so much, saying free stuff was always right. Kim Il-young was sitting on the stairs, looking at someone. He told them not to brag too much. He looked pretty smug about it. Two people were watching a group of people running towards them. One of them commented that the restless ones finally couldn't resist joining them. They seemed amused by the sight. The man suggested that they should step back now. He thought that the group would probably have a hard time. The lady added that she would leave too, wondering if this was really happening. A huge group of people was running towards something with incredible speed. The ground was shaking from the force of their steps. It looked like a stampede. Kim Il-young was suddenly surrounded by a bunch of people. He told them to come on out, and asked why they were standing in such an awkward place. He looked annoyed. Kim Il-young glanced back at the crowd behind him, and wondered if they were all talking about him. He was getting a weird feeling about this whole situation. The crowd surged forward, all trying to get his attention. They were shouting for him to join their clan, promising him a brilliant future as an adventurer. Kim Il-young found himself completely surrounded by the eager crowd. He realized this was what everyone had been talking about, and honestly, it was kind of a pain. Suddenly, a system alert popped up, telling him that a hero doesn't ride on others' coattails and to reject them all. He scoffed, realizing that Hildegren's true intentions were now clear. The crowd's gazes intensified, and they looked like they were ready to devour him whole. It was clear that they wanted him badly. Kim Il-young thought about how those who had ignored him before were now making a big deal out of him. He hadn't forgotten how they had treated him in the waiting room, not one bit. He said that he was a person who holds firm to grudges and resolves them. The crowd was pushing him around, and he shouted at them to stop. He wondered who had so much strength that they could push through like that. A woman introduced herself as Lee Hani, executive of the Il-sung clan, and offered a handshake. She seemed confident and eager to recruit him. Kim Il-young just sat there silently, leaning back against the stairs. He didn't seem too impressed by the offer. Lee Hani asked if he was going to leave her hanging like that. She warned that if he was already shocked, he should wait until he saw what she had in store for him. The crowd of people were shouting at Kim Il-young, saying that their clan didn't request such evil deeds. They offered him a huge contract fee, saying that they didn't realize his true value until now, begging him to stop. Kim Il-young put his hands up, looking annoyed. He said that if everyone talked at once, he wouldn't be able to understand them. He asked what was going on now. Kim Il-young told them that he couldn't talk to everyone. He would only discuss things with the clans he had prior contact with. He wondered who had approached him first, and which clan it was exactly. Kim Il-young thought to himself that there probably wouldn't be any. He wondered when they would stop treating him like an invisible person, just because he was mana 0. The young man figured they probably thought they could manage without mana, since he couldn't use skills as an adventurer. Kim Il-young opened his arms in disbelief. He sighed, saying that everyone seemed to lack an eye for talent. He was clearly disappointed that no one had approached him before. Kim Il-young said that he had no choice but to leave if no one was interested in him. He remembered how they had ignored him as if he was nothing of value, and now they wanted to recruit him. The young man was not impressed by their sudden change of heart. Kim Il-young continued, saying that they only wanted him now because he seemed valuable. He added that they had spat him out when they thought he was bitter, and now they wanted to pick him up again. The fighter found the situation laughable. The crowd started coughing, realizing there was dust everywhere. They wondered where he had gone, shocked that he had just left like that. The people were completely bewildered by his sudden departure. The crowd watched him walk away, murmuring in shock. They couldn't believe that he didn't need a party to go on this adventure. The people were left speechless by his confidence. Kim Il-young was walking down the hallway, realizing that he wasn't at the gate yet. He figured he had some time before he arrived at his destination. The young man decided to check his status window. Kim Il-young looked at his status window. It showed that he was level 14 and a second-class martial artist. He was finally getting somewhere. The young man felt a surge of excitement. He realized that leveling up was the answer. The number of martial arts skills he could register had increased since he reached the second-rate level. Kim Il-young smirked, knowing he was on the right track. He needed to discard the useless color arts and odd job arts, and focus on practical martial arts. Warp speed technique, 7 steps death control, wind essence sword technique flashed in his mind. The fighter knew he had to be smart about this. Unorganized training hinders the progress of martial arts. Now was the time for selection and focus. Kim Il-young's gaze hardened, ready to make some tough choices. First, he would start with the wind-cutting sword technique that he practiced countless times. Wind essence sword technique was his priority. Kim Il-young wondered if he had to discard the ones he used before, like the 3-element swordsmanship. Kim Il-young realized that he could inherit skills. A message popped up, asking if he wanted to inherit the proficiency of the 10-star 3-element swordsmanship. He immediately accepted. The young man was eager to get stronger, but the system said that the 3-element swordsmanship wouldn't increase much because it was a lower-level martial art. However, the wind-cutting sword technique increased to 2 stars. He was happy that his past efforts weren't wasted. Kim Il-young decided to inherit all of them, 5 second-tier martial arts. He smirked, ready to absorb all the power he could. The system showed him the stats. Wind essence sword technique 2nd stage, hexagonal fist 2nd stage, small radiant technique 2nd stage, silent wind 10 steps needle 1st stage, and 7 steps death control 2nd stage. Kim Il-young realized he was now truly a second-tier martial artist. He was making progress faster than he thought. It took Kim Il-young a year and a half to reach the second tier in the martial world with nothing. He remembered the struggle and the hardship. But with the help of the Pangea system and special assistance, he reached the second tier in just 7 days. The young man was amazed at how far he had come. He thought to himself that he was incredible. Hildegren said that it was his class that was amazing, not Kim Il-young. He added that Hildegren also had a bit of a bragging style. A group of people stared in awe at a bright red portal. It seemed like they were seeing something incredible. Manhwa pointed out that it was the city for novice adventurers and the dimensional gate leading to Illidal. She then asked Kim Il-young when he had gotten there, to which he replied that he had just arrived. Manhwa looked at Kim Il-young suspiciously and asked what he was staring at. She seemed a little annoyed by his gaze. Kim Il-young asked if she was staring at the face of the hero who saved her. He then told everyone to look at this girl, saying that she casually spouts such bold words. He looked amused by her reaction. Manhwa asked what he meant by that, saying that he had appeared like a hero in the nick of time, defeated the Dark Orc, and saved her. She then cleared her throat, looking a little embarrassed. Manhwa added that she still couldn't believe his swordsmanship skills against the Dark Orc. She then asked Kim Il-young what on earth had happened during those 7 years. Looking curious, Kim Il-young thought about how he had returned after experiencing the filthiest depths of another world. He then said that a hero's life was like wading through sticky mud, looking grim. He continued, saying that the word hero was far from describing him. Kim Il-young stated that he was a swordsman driven by money and profit, and that's what a hero really was. Manhwa asked if he didn't want to talk about it. She then said that she understood, as it was quite embarrassing to brag about one's own good deeds. The woman asked if he was pretending to be aloof like a tsundere. Manhwa insisted that he would appear out of nowhere to save someone in danger like her, no matter where he was. But Kim Il-young denied it, saying that was a serious misunderstanding. Manhwa changed the subject, asking if he was okay since she had heard he had been rejecting all the clan recruitment offers. She looked at him with concern. Kim Il-young scoffed, saying that he was fine and didn't need a clan's protection. He seemed confident in his own abilities. Kim Il-young thought about how quickly people's attitudes changed, saying they weren't even bats. He added that his teeth still grinded when he thought about the disregard he had received so far. Looking angry, Kim Il-young stated that his motto was to let gratitude flow like a river and to carve resentment in stone. Manhwa then asked again if he wasn't interested in joining their Hong family. Looking hopeful, Kim Il-young stated that he wasn't interested in a small elite atmosphere with almost no profit sharing. He raised his hand, showing that he was firm in his decision. Manhwa grabbed his arm, begging him not to be like that. She looked at him with pleading eyes, hoping he would change his mind. Manhwa went on, explaining that they don't collect profits, don't mess with others, and all he needed to do was show up. She called it a barrage of temptation, trying to make it sound appealing. Manhwa said that she was getting dizzy, still trying to persuade him. She looked at the young man with a hopeful smile, but he didn't seem to be budging. Kim Il-young sighed, saying that he still wasn't interested. He explained that he didn't like having someone above him, making it clear that his decision was final. Manhwa asked why he cared so much about that. She looked at him with a serious expression, waiting for his answer. Kim Il-young explained that there were countless masters in the martial arts world who could trample him. He said he was done with that life, preferring to be with a snake's head than a dragon's tail. He added that he had always been tense, afraid his head would be taken. Manhwa suggested that he create his own clan and become the head of his own organization. The woman looked hopeful, thinking he might consider it. Kim Il-young said he would think about that. Kim Il-young said that if that happened, she should join too and bring that thick-headed shield along as well. He added that he would think about that too. Manhwa replied that he should, looking pleased. The crowd gasped, exclaiming that it was opening. Everyone stared in anticipation, wondering what was about to happen. The text described a mysterious otherworld that one might only see in fantasy novels. It said that although danger and hardships are inevitable, those who overcome them can enjoy great wealth and fame. The man announced to the adventurers that the test was over. He declared that they were now all full-fledged adventurers. He then told them that before them was Pangea. The man continued, saying that there would be adventures and crises. He said that he believed they could all overcome them. The leader looked at them, his eyes full of hope. The man reminded everyone that they had defeated a dark orc. The crowd looked back at him, listening intently. They seemed to be ready for anything. The man said he didn't want to receive any heated gazes from them. He looked a little uncomfortable, like he was trying to avoid something. Maybe he was nervous. The man shouted for the adventurers to go forth, declaring that Pangea awaited them. His booming voice echoed through the hall, and below, the crowd cheered in response, ready to embark on their adventures. Some of the new adventurers were already eager to get started. They asked their senior to go with them, They were ready to explore the dangers that awaited them. The god on the screen snapped her fingers, beckoning them to come. She seemed to be amused by their enthusiasm. Meanwhile, the man responded that he would go even without being asked. He looked determined to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Turns out, an adventurer must embark on adventures. That's how Soon Chong responded when asked what an adventurer was. The group seemed to be listening intently, ready to take on the world. He declared that they should face the challenges and endure the risks. In return, they would get wealth and honor befitting the effort. He was ready to face Pangea.